Stampin' Up with Jaimie. Thank you for joining me today for my YouTube live, or if you're catching this on replay, thank you so much for watching. I have to say today I am out of my house right now, and I'm having some housework done. So things might look a little different, and but my parents have very graciously let me come crash at their house. So I am crafting. I hope I remembered everything. We'll have to get going. We'll see. I obviously forgot my grid paper, but everything still should work fairly well. So this is the card I am making today. It's super cute. It's from the stamp set, A Cut Above. Really adorable. Anytime you're making a masculine card, they can be on the more challenging side as far as, you can't put all the bells and whistles and all the frills and all the girly embellishments that, maybe we might be more accustomed to using. So I think this is a great stamp set to have for the men in our life. This is the stamp set. It's in the current 2021 January to June mini catalog. It's got two sort of bigger images, this gentleman in the hammock and then this one mowing the lawn, and then we have some complementary images as well, the sun, a really cute cloud, and a little birdie, and some really, really fun, great sentiments. Again, I love because it has the birthday sentiment, but then there's also just a general Happy Father's Day sentiment, which are always good to have on hand. And then we have a couple sort of punny sentiments. You're a cut above the rest, and you make the world look better and the grass look greener. So really fun, cute sentiments. And today's card is a little on the simpler side. It just has a lot of coloring in it, honestly, with some layers. But I did include an extra sentiment on the inside with a little sun. So really adorable. And let's just go ahead and dive right in. I had to put everything I'm using in this Ziploc bag because, like I said, I'm not home right now. So my cardstock here is a Crumb Cake base. It is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I did remember my bone folder, which is funny because I never remember it when I'm home, but now that I packed up, I did remember to bring it with me. And then I took a pattern from the Neutrals Designer Series paper. This is one of the Crumb Cake patterns. The opposite side has all the wording and letters on it, but I'm using this sort of wood grain pattern. Again, this is the Crumb Cake pattern in the Neutrals Designer Series paper. I love our Color Collection Designer Series paper because they're great if we want to use a specific color, but maybe there's not a current designer series paper that has that color. These are like my go-to, and you can find all the current colors come in the designer series paper packs. So I've already gone ahead and cut this. This is 4 1/4 by 5.5. I had to think about it for a second. I second guessed myself. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this down on my card front. I wasn't sure my current adhesive roll was going to last, so I do have a backup if it's if it runs out. I'm running a little bit bigger, so luckily, I don't even know why I brought it, because I really didn't need it, but I'm like, let me throw it in the bag just in case. I did bring my trimmer, so I'm just going to trim that down a little bit. My card base is ever so slightly bigger than my designer series paper, so I'm glad I brought that. If not, I would have to be doing that later on at home. Okay, so there's our card base, kind of where we're working off of. Then, what should we do next? I guess we'll work on our scene. I used the stitched rectangle dies. These are a favorite of mine. I use them a ton. I'm using them twice. So I'm using it for our scene background and then also for the sentiment. So this guy here, hold on, let me see. It's like maybe 4 3/8. I don't know. I'll have to get that exact measurement because I don't have my grid paper and I was going off my mom's sewing. Maybe 3 by 4 3/8 is what I'm going to guess that measures, more or less, give or take. So look for the rectangle that is closest to that size, and that's what this one is. Again, I apologize. I remembered everything but the grid paper. That's okay. At least I remembered more or less everything. everything else. Although I just realized I didn't, oh no, I didn't bring my Memento ink. Let's see here. How can I do this? Shoot. Okay. We're going to have to improvise. I'm just going to have to stamp them in Night of Eve. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Okay, we'll see how this comes out. This is going to come out very different than my original. I have on my block the gentleman that is mowing the lawn. He's so cute. He reminds me of my father and my grandfather that were sort of avid, keep the lawn immaculate. So, okay, so my sample, you should in theory be stamping this in Memento black ink, but I didn't bring it with me. So we are totally improvising and this is gonna come out very different. I apologize. So I'm gonna stamp him down here. Again, I am not home right now, so I packed up this, actually last night I packed up. I'm like, I think I remembered everything. I did forget a couple things. Like I forgot my biggest block. And so I normally wouldn't put the stamp on a D block. I would put it on, what is it? Well, an H block, whatever the big one is. But thank goodness he more or less sort of fits on that. While I have my ink pad open, I'm just going to stamp sort of everything else. I'm just going to put a sheet of paper underneath so I don't stamp on my mom's table here. The sun, again, I wouldn't normally stamp in blue, but, you know, we're going for it today. Up in the corner. Then I have the cloud, super fun. I just think this is a really, really cute, super adorable set. So one there, maybe one a little bit lower. And then oh, there it is. I'm like, I put it on a block. I have the little tiny, super cute butterfly. I mean, not butterfly, excuse me, bird. I just have to make sure I'm stamping him the right, okay. I want to make sure he's right side up and not sort of flying upside down. That wouldn't be good. Okay. So, again, normally you would stamp all that in Memento black ink. I don't have, I forgot that one, of course, like the most important ink pad I needed. That's okay. So normally you would ink it in Memento black. Okay, I'm going to color this and we'll see how well this colors having stamped it in Night of Navy. Hi, Susan. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm sort of a hot mess today. I have workers at my house right now laying new flooring in my kitchen and bathroom. Actually, the kitchen's done. So they're laying new flooring in my bathroom. So I am hiding out at my parents' today with the kids. We brought all of our stuff for homeschooling here. So it's looks a little different than it normally does. Coloring, I have a ton of Stampin' blends. I have Night of Navy, Dark and Light, Balmy Blue, and Granny Apple Green. I'm going to just start with those, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other sets of colors, and I'll show you those in a second. So I'm just going to pull my seat up closer so I can get a little closer, and hopefully this goes perfect. Okay, so the Night of Navy I'm using for his pants, the Balmy Blue I am using for his shirt, and then the Granny Apple Green I'm using for the grass. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put this underneath just so I make sure it doesn't bleed through. So I'm starting with the light Night of Navy, going to apply the color to his jeans. Like so. I'm not going to worry too much about shading because it's just a really fun image. I don't think it has to be super precise as far as getting the different color variations and hues. Just coloring him in simply, I think, does the job. So, and I'm using the brush stroke end, but obviously the image is on the smaller size, so just go slow, take your time. I'm going to come in with the dark and just add a little bit of lowlights, kind of picking up on some of the details that are in the stamp itself, sort of highlighting them. And I don't think I'm going to blend it in because that's pretty good. Now, the Balmy Blue I used for his shirt. Just be careful of his arm. Like so. And he's a short sleeve shirt, so it goes up a collar. He has a little bit of a collar over there. Okay. Oh, Krista, you're so funny. I didn't get it either. I had a customer accidentally order 2. And she's like, what can I do? And I'm like, well, I don't have that one. So she was very gracious and sent it my way, and it all kind of worked out. So, okay, so that's the Balmy Blue. And I have to say, this stamp set is pretty fabulous. Again, both my dad and my grandfather were just really well known for their lawns, especially my grandfather. You would tell them like, oh, where do they live? And you would say the street, you know, the one with the really beautiful lawn. And everybody would go, oh, that's the house. He just kept it in immaculate grass. So I'm just throwing this on, literally, not overthinking it too much. First the light and then the dark. Granny Apple Green. The next colors I'm going to be using are Poppy Parade, Daffodil Delight for the sun. What else do I have? Smoky Slate for the lawnmower. Crumb Cake for his hat. And then the Ivory and, what is it, Bronze, I think this is called? Yeah, Bronze Duo. So the Poppy Parade is just for the lawnmower. I'm going to use the more fine tip because it really is a much smaller area to be coloring. And I want just a little bit more control. So I'm just doing sort of the body of the lawnmower. Of course, you could color the whole thing if you wanted, but just doing the body. Then the dark. Now, while I'm coloring this, I just want to let you know we were told today, very exciting, that Stampin' Up! Is going to be having a 1-day free shipping offer. Hello, that's huge. So they are offering free shipping on any order over $50 tomorrow, March 17th only. And yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Make sure you get your wish lists ready and you're ready to go. Come tomorrow, you're going to want to place that order, get it ready to take advantage of the free shipping. Free shipping doesn't happen very often, and it could really add up to a lot of savings. So just think, instead of paying shipping, you can buy more product. Now, because I didn't stamp in Memento and I used a regular ink pad, especially with the yellow, it is picking up a little bit of the blue there. So again, normally if you had stamped with the Memento, that wouldn't happen. But I can't believe I forgot that one. How funny. I really completely forgot that one. It wasn't even like, oh, I meant to bring it and I forgot. No, I completely forgot to pack that, that ink pad. Luckily, navy is a pretty dark, so it kind of looks black. Okay, so we're done with the yellow. The gray is going to be for the arms of the lawnmower here. Am I still in shot? I am, okay. Arms of the lawnmower, and then the lawnmower bag. Like this, his tires. Both of them. And then the sort of the engine, so to speak. Okay, that's the light smoky slate. I'm going to come in with the dark and just add some darker lighting. And then we'll blend them together. This would be a great set to get ready for Father's Day, or any of those masculine cards you have to get. And tomorrow, even more so for the free shipping. Even better yet. So I have Crumb Cake. Crumb Cake is next. The Crumb Cake is going to be his hat. And his shoes. You don't really see them that much, but I don't know. I just love, love, love the look of these images. Maybe because it just reminds me of my own family, but I just think they're super cute. I love that he's whistling. Like, I just think that's even more perfect. My dad loves to whistle. Okay, that's that. Next, I have the Ivory and the Bronze. These two come together, and they're great for doing like skin tones. I tend to use the Ivory for skin and then the Bronze for hair. But depending on the sort of hue coloring that you're looking to get for skin tones, you could use the Ivory and keep layering it up for a darker shade. You could do bronze, and then if you want a darker shade, just keep layering up the bronze for skin tones. So a lot of different variations you can get with these two markers, and they are sold as a pair. So they come together, and I use them a lot together. So for skin, he has his ankles. Don't forget the ankles, even though they're kind of small. They're small, but they are skin, so you need to color them like you're going to color the rest of his skin. His arms, and then his face. So you have his cheeks, his chin. I'm trying not to touch my stamped ink too much so I don't bleed the blue. Okay. And then for the hair, I like this color for hair a lot. You could also use soft suede, would be a great color for hair, or, you know, maybe the light basic black if you were looking for a darker shade. I like the bronze. Okay. Oh, I forgot to say, I took the light balmy blue and I did add just a little bit of color to our clouds. Just kind of following the neck, like the stamped image, the lines, just to add a little bit of, whoops, that's not very straight. And then, oh, I guess I forgot to bring that one too, but I did add a pumpkin pie nose to the bird. So I forgot that one as well, but I'll go home and do that. That's a quick fix. That's just a little bit there. Okay. So then I have two pieces of cardstock, Poppy Parade and Night of Navy. Let me see if I can go over to my mom's desk and see if I can figure out measurements. 3 1/8, it looks like. Looks like they're 3 1/8 by 4 1/2, give or take a little bit. They are, so whatever this rectangle is, they're 1/8 bigger. So like a true mat. So again, I apologize, I don't have that exact measurement. But, so this image I matted on the Night of Navy, like so, and it mats very nicely. And then on the offset, underneath it, I offset the Poppy Parade one just a little bit. I like to offset, I don't do it too often, but it's just a nice little kind of peekaboo of color, a variety of colors sort of popping through behind. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do, it's so funny because in my sample I forgot to do it too. So for this little ribbon detail, it can be challenging when doing a masculine card because, I don't know, they can't really do bows and you can't do frills, you can't do lace. But this denim ribbon is really nice. I did bring that. Oh, there it is. It is, where's the English? Denim 3/8 ribbon, and it really does look like denim. And I have just a tiny little piece. This is probably maybe 2 inches. I didn't measure it. And, you know, instead of tying a bow, you could do a knot. When doing a masculine card, I do like to do knots sometimes. But all I did was just do a simple staple in the corner there. Now, by rights, I should have done that before I adhered this. Let's see if I can get it up. It's so funny because in my sample card, it was an afterthought as well. And so I did the same thing. I had to lift up my cardstock underneath to staple it down. I obviously didn't really learn the lesson too much. So all I did was literally staple it down. And the staple, I don't know, I just use this plain house stapler to just give a little bit to hold it down. And it's not too frilly, it's not girly, it's, you know, I don't know, meant for a masculine birthday card. So I really like that. To adhere this down, I did use Stampin' Dimensionals. I have a new thing of them. So beautiful. Thanks, Susan. I like to do, and when I do tags too, I usually do a staple. I staple the ribbon that goes through the tag. I like using a stapler. I find bows can be really challenging. I wouldn't necessarily want to do a bow with a masculine card anyways. So I find like the staple, it gets the job. Gets the look. It does the job. Got little dimensional backings everywhere. Oops. Don't commit. Hold on. Okay. I wasn't ready to put it down. Aim for center. It's really hard to do with that. You know what? No, I gotta hold it up. Okay. I'm going to assume more or less at a center. And the ribbon just kind of hangs over a little bit. If you wanted it more flush, you could always staple it to this panel here, but I really like that. Okay, so for our sentiment, again, that cut above does have a birthday sentiment. It does have a Father's Day sentiment. Both are great. I am going to use the birthday sentiment. Now here's the thing. I already pre-cut this because I didn't want to have to bring my stamp on my emboss machine. So I cut two. I have 2 chances to stamp this right. And if it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to finagle something. But again, this is cut from the rectangle die. I'm not sure if it would, let's see if it would fit oh, it would too, like barely would fit the Happy Father's Day. It's like the perfect size. A little bit wider and it would be too small. So I'm just kind of analyzing. Normally I would use my grid paper to get perfect sort of placement, but we are going to wing this. Here we go. Okay, so I'm stamping this in Night of Navy ink. Again, on that, I think it's the smallest of all the rectangle dies. I did remember the Night of Navy ink, luckily. Okay, here we go. You're a little nervous? I'm a little nervous. I have 2 shots to get this right. And if I don't, then we're gonna go with the one that's the less wrong of them. Oh, that's a little low. I would use that. That's not horrible. It's just a little low. I'm going to try it again. Maybe go aim a little higher this time, but if not, I'm just going to use that. That's fine. It's straight. It's just on the lower side. Normally, I would stamp and then cut out. That's just easier to do, but I didn't want to have to fuss with bringing. I'm going to get it a little lower so I can see it a little closer. Okay, here we go. Watch it be too high now. That would be funny. Oh, that's not bad. I might go with that one. It's a little to the right, but that's okay. Again, normally, the easiest practice would be to stamp and then cut out because then you can get perfect placement of your die on the sentiment or whatever you're cutting out, and it's just easier. But as you can see, it can also be done sort of the back way. I'm doing it. I'm going to put dimensionals only on the left side of the sentiment. That's because that's the only part that's going to be sort of hanging over my stamped image here. I wouldn't want to put a dimensional here because then it would be like really lopsided. I want it nice and straight. So I don't even want to touch that because I know for some reason my Night of Navy ink takes a while to dry. I've learned the hard way. That's how I know that. Okay, for the inside, I kept it really simple. I just use another one of those sentiments, really sweet. You make the world look better and the grass look greener. And then I stamp the sun in Daffodil Delight. So I have a basic white 4 by 5 1/4. And I have my other sentiment. I need the Night of Navy again. Wow, this one's completely not straight. Let me see if I can get this blocked a little straighter. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that. And if not, we'll flip it over and we'll do the other side. We have 2 shots to get this one right. I didn't think to bring extra ones of these. That was kind of silly. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get really good coverage. Okay, and here we go. Ready or not? Stamp that down. Okay, that's not bad. We'll take it. And then the sun. Oh, I gotta clean it. Hold on. Good thing I had my daughter right before I went live. I said, go get my chamois wet. Oh my goodness, good thing she did. There would be a blue sun if I had a thought to do that. Although I did bring the chamois, but I didn't think to wet it necessarily. So the sun I'm stamping in Daffodil Delight, just next to this other sentiment. Like that. So sweet. I love that sun so much. Really, really fun. Okay. Now, I know from past experience that Night of Navy is pretty wet still. So I never usually do this, but I'm going to put the adhesive on where it's going down. Normally I put the adhesive on here and then put that down. But in an effort to try and not completely smear Oh, well, looks like we're committed. It's a little to the right, but that's okay. Okay, so there's our inside. A happy birthday. Again, that could be a happy Father's Day. It would fit on that same rectangle stitched cutout. And then a simple inside. Most of this is just coloring with really fun layers, a nice ribbon detail without being like too feminine and girly, sweet sentiment, and then another one for the inside. So make sure that you check out the Cut Above stamp set. I think you're really gonna like it for the men in your life, for thinking of them. And get your wish list ready. Again, remember tomorrow, free shipping on any order over $50 tomorrow only, March 17th. So make sure you get your orders in. If you have any questions placing orders, please let me know. My current host code is on my blog. And if you have any questions, I am here to help. Just let me know. Thanks everyone for watching today. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you again next week. Bye.